Hello there, it's me, Kimberly Gosney from MakingHeadway.us. Oh my gosh, I am so excited that you're here for today's Quickie Tech tutorial because I have something amazing that I want to share with you if you're using Headway Themes as your theme of choice to build your website on. Today, we are going to be tackling how to create a sticky navigation menu. Woo! I cannot wait for us to get started. But first, before we start diving into the sticky navigation tutorial, I wanted to show you what it is, and I wanted to give you one thing that you need to do before you start making changes to your website. So are you ready? Okay, let's do this. A sticky navigation menu is one that when you start scrolling the page, the navigation menu stays put. It stays right there at the top of the screen, so someone can always easily see and find your menu area. So that's what a sticky navigation is. It stays stuck to the top of your website. Okay, now that piece of advice that I wanted to give you before you jump in and start making headway with your website, back that thing up. Yes, I say it all the time. Make sure you make a new backup of your website before you begin this tech tutorial. Just in case something goes wonky, you always want to have a nice backup that you can revert back to if you need to. So are you ready? Let's dig in. All you're going to need to complete today's quick tech tutorial is Headway Themes, and you're going to need at least a website that has a navigation menu. You're going to also need about 10 minutes of time. Should take a little bit less, but I always like to give a buffer. So let's dig in and get started. If you've been building a website with me, you're very familiar with the way that I get you to set up your website so that all the pieces will swap out at one time. But if you haven't built a site with me before, you want to go to a page that has your main menu. Most of the time, the best page to go to is your blog page. So I'm going to go ahead and hop over to my blog really quick, and we're going to open this page up in the grid editor. So once you get to your blog page, you're just going to do Headway. Sorry, my page is still loading. It's rather slow today and bugging me. Okay, so we're going to go to Headway. We're just going to hover over the word Headway. We're going to go to Visual Editor, and we're going to click on the word Grid when it finally appears. There it goes. And I am using Headway Themes version 3.8.8 for this tutorial. So anything 3.8.8, this will work fine. So let's go ahead and take a peek at what's in the grid editor, just a quick overview of what we've got. So right now I have a fluid width wrapper. Yeah, I know that's a fancy term, and a fluid width grid. It just means I've got an area right here that is separated out from the rest of my website that's perfect for popping in a sticky navigation menu. If everything is connected in one big wrapper, stop. Stop and do not do anything else in this tutorial because you don't want to make your whole site sticky at one time. You only want a separated menu out that you can, pull apart just that one little piece and separate it out from everything else. So what does that mean? I have 3 wrappers on this page right now. I do not have everything in one big giant chunk. It's all separated. So if you're separated out and your menu is separate from your content blocks and everything else on your site, let's go ahead and make this sticky. So all you're going to do is right-click here, and you're going to hit Open Wrapper Options. Down here on the left-hand side, you're going to see Sticky Positioning. You just give Sticky Positioning a click, and you want to check mark. So if it's unchecked, you want to check Enable Sticky Positioning. You want the top offset here to be set to 0. You don't want to add any extra padding to the top of your website before your menu appears. You want it to show up the second someone clicks it. You want it to just be right there like usual. And now you're just going to hit Save. And that is the only step that you have to do to turn this menu into a sticky menu. So let's view it and take a peek. All right, so now that my site is loaded, when I start scrolling this page, you're going to see that my navigation menu is stuck in place. As soon as my site loads, there we go. So as you scroll, the menu is stuck in place. It's permanently fixed there. There is one other little thing that's just a little quick fun thing I wanted to show you in the design editor about how to make this a little bit transparent so that people can still see your content through the top of the menu. And that's a really fun trick for this. So I'm still on my same blog page, and I'm just going to go to Headway, Visual Editor, and Design because I want to be in design mode to do this. And we're going to be looking specifically at that whole top area of the site. So once that loads in just a second, I'm just going to close a tab out while I'm waiting, and waiting some more today. That's what happens when you're making a bunch of tutorials at one time. When you're loading tutorials and also creating them, it kind of slows things down a bit. So at least we've got a little fun time where I can just chat and be like, I've had too much coffee yet again today. That's like 4 days in a row, too much coffee. Alrighty, so now that my my design editor is open, I'm just going to hover over my navigation menu. You want to be in the wrapper area. You do not want to be in the individual blocks or the individual menu tabs. You want that whole sucker. You want all of it. And you're going to be in the wrapper. You're just going to right click right here. And once you right click, you're going to hit edit this instance. And when you hit edit this instance, that's going to pop up the design editor for that chunk, that wrapper. And now that that chunk is opened up, we're going to click on background so that we can get into the color that the wrapper is. We're just going to click on the box of the color, and this could be any color. I like to have white menus, but you can do this any color you want. And then you're going to see this bar right here. And the bar is the transparency bar. If you click about halfway in the middle, so if you put your mouse over it and just click at about the halfway mark, that's going to turn that from a solid color into a transparent color. Then all you have to do from here is click on the end of this big old long color number one time, just give it a click, and then you're going to hit save. And once you do that, it's going to save your menu as a transparent with a little bit of white and a little bit of color still in the menu area. So now we're going to take a peek at our website, and you're going to see as I scroll that the color is transparent. So the things from the back behind it appear in through it. So let's do it. See now? It's not a big giant solid white box anymore. It lets people scroll through so they can see that content. The only thing here that could be a word of caution would be in the creation of your logo menu area. You see how mine is a solid white box around this? If you have any little logo areas or mini logos, as I like to call them, if you have those, you might want to save them as a transparent ping file when you load them to your site, so that way the whole thing is completely transparent. But today I just wanted to show you the process of creating a transparent menu so that you would have the ability to do that on your site. But for me, I'm going to keep mine all bright white. But there is how you do it. That is how you go to your site, you create a menu bar that has a transparent color behind it. And I love that look. I've seen it a lot out there lately, and it really is like a little bit of a fun surprise when people can see that content through the menu area. So now, this part is very important as well. If you're not a member of my Making Headway.us community, or if you built your site out with separate menus for each page that you created, and you're not using that fun system of shared layouts like I do, you're going to need to look at each menu on every page of your menu bar especially to make sure that your menus are now all transparent, because you don't want to have some that are white in the background and then others that are transparent, or you don't want to have two different looks on different pages that have the same menu style. So all you're going to do is come back to your site and click on your pages and make sure that those are also transparent. And if they have not gone transparent, you're going to follow this tutorial along again, open up those pages in your design editor, and you're going to make those layers transparent in your menu area. Hope that makes sense, but just double check your pages to make sure that all of them look consistent throughout your site, especially on these top level pages. So if you loved that quick tech tutorial that I shared with you today on how to make a sticky navigation menu, guess what? I have tons of other great DIY site building tutorials. I have mini classes. I have templates, and so much more. You can get access to some of my very best content when you are part of MakingHeadway.us. That's where, together, we DIY a website that you'll love. I hope to see you on the inside, and all you have to do is visit me at MakingHeadway.us to take a peek. Thanks, and bye!